Hello again. Every month I try and write an article which is relevant and can connect with you. In other words, you can see in my experience and in my life something that you can say, I can learn from that. Now, my title this month is Learning to Endure Hardness. One of my guiding principles is to be simple and honest in my explanation of what I go through in my life, what I experience, my walk with God. Gimmicks are not my style. For at least an hour a day, I walk my two dogs, either to the river or to the forest, which are both quite close, or just around the neighbourhood on shorter walks. So, as is my custom, recently I was walking Lenny in my own street, on my own pavement area, the area just around me, and my foot caught against an uneven obstacle and I fell flat on my face. Because I was holding Lenny, I didn't put my hand in front of me to break the fall, and I landed on my face. Now, that was weeks ago now, and you can't see much of the scarring or the effect of that fall because the interim nurse at the hospital did an amazing job. Blood dripped all over my shirt, and my wife rushed me to the emergency services at the local hospital. Now, the sweet young doctor or trainee doctor said to me, these injections are going to hurt, because she had to inject me all along the lower lip. 4 injections. That was painful, and I hadn't had any hospital treatment since the age of 5. When they questioned me at the hospital, have you been to hospital before? Not since 5. Oh, really? All that time? Yeah. Did I take any medication? No. Was I suffering from any illness? No. Did I have any allergies? No. And they were quite shocked. Anyway, I got sewn up, and questions arose in my mind. You know, I know Psalm 91. It says, his angels will bear me up in case I dash my foot against a stone. That's verse 12 in Psalm 91. I was saying to myself, well, where were my angels? Where were they when I needed them? Why did I fall? And so this is what I say, I'm being honest with you. I get questions. It's taken some heart searching, and what I'm writing today may only be part of the answer, because I've really talked to the Lord about it. When things happen to us that are unpleasant and hard to face, we need answers. So I hope what I'm about to say to you will help you. One of my great heroes of faith is the Apostle Paul, who suffered extensive hardship. He was robbed, imprisoned, beaten with rods and lashes. Countless perils are listed in 2 Corinthians 11, verse 23 to 27. He was often hungry and cold, not enough clothing, and he nearly drowned in a shipwreck. That's in Acts 27. On one occasion, he was stoned and left for dead, or thought to be dead, at Lystra in Acts 14 and verse 19. But the other disciples, the other people who were Christians around him, prayed for him. He got up, went on to the next town, Derby, to preach the same gospel of grace. He knew, the Apostle Paul knew, how to endure hardness. In writing to his spiritual son Timothy, he could write with authority, "Take with me your share of hardness and suffering that you are called upon to endure as a good first-class soldier of Jesus Christ." That's 2 Timothy 2 verse 3 in the Amplified Bible. Saul of Tarsus became the Apostle Paul, a giant of faith and a major writer of the New Testament. He grew into this status through suffering, as Ananias had prophesied he would in Acts 9 verse 16. Ananias, you remember, was the disciple of God who went to see Saul after he was blinded on the road to Damascus. Think also with me about another hero of mine who's called Joseph, the favourite son of Jacob, who was despised by his brothers for his dreams, Genesis 37 verse 3 to 11. They threw him in a pit and sold him into slavery in Egypt in Genesis 37 verses 19 to 36. As a slave in Potiphar's house, he was wrongly accused and thrown into prison, Genesis 39. But the Lord was with Joseph, and he had favour with the guards and prospered even in prison. That's in Genesis 39, 21 to 23. Here again, God was fashioning Joseph's character. And in Psalm 105 we discover that God had sent Joseph ahead of time in order that the Jews as a nation would have food in Egypt. In Psalm 105 verse 18, the Amplified Bible, it writes about Joseph, "His feet was hurt with fetters. He was laid in chains of iron, and his soul entered into the iron." So, from being a daddy's boy, he became a man with a soul as strong as iron. He was transformed into God's deliverer. Now, my suffering in comparison is tiny, but it's helped me to face fear, especially the fear of needles and surgery in general. I'm determined to learn how to endure hardness, so I can be trusted with greater authority in ministry. All of us have fears and demons of the past to face, but God has a way of getting us to face them, so our testimony then will help many others. So I hope that's helped you. Learning to endure hardness, it's essential to become a greater man or woman of God. God bless you. See you next month.